Beloved brothers and sisters, I speak to you today with a heavy heart and a watchful spirit. There is a movement, a divine shaking that is coming upon the earth, and it will arrive with no warnings, no signs that the world can see. The chosen ones are rising, prepared by God for such a time as this. They are hidden in plain sight, yet their moment is near. Do not be deceived, for the days ahead will not wait for preparation or hesitation. Those who are chosen will move in power, anointing, and purpose, while many will be caught unaware. Today, I call upon you to awaken your spirit, to open your eyes to the divine timing, and to understand that God's plan is moving faster than our human understanding can grasp. This is not a message of fear. It is a message of readiness, a divine call to recognize what is unfolding and to step into your destiny with courage and faith. The arrival of the chosen ones is not something that will happen slowly or in a way that the world expects. It is sudden, it is swift, and it will take many by surprise. Imagine a day when life seems ordinary, when the sun rises and sets as it always has, and yet in the spiritual realm, a great movement has already begun. This is the reality that God is revealing to us today. The chosen ones are being prepared in secret, nurtured in prayer, strengthened in faith, and refined through trials, so that when their moment comes, they will move with power, authority, and divine precision. They are like hidden sparks, carefully kindled by the hand of God, waiting for the moment to ignite and illuminate the world in ways that no human eye can predict. Many will not see them coming because they will appear ordinary, unassuming, and even overlooked by those around them. But do not be deceived. God often hides his greatest warriors in plain sight. He raises them quietly, strengthens them silently, and then sends them forth suddenly, catching even the most vigilant by surprise. The suddenness of their arrival is intentional. God's ways are not like the ways of men. He does not announce his plans through the media, through public declarations, or through worldly signs that can be misinterpreted. Instead, he works in ways that are unseen, moving in the hearts, the spirits, and the minds of those he has chosen. This is why the world will be shocked when the chosen ones step forward. Their timing is not aligned with human schedules, human expectations, or human understanding. It is aligned with divine purpose. The very fact that there will be no warnings is part of God's plan to demonstrate his sovereignty, to show that he alone orchestrates the unfolding of events according to his perfect will. The chosen ones will not come with fanfare or recognition. They will not announce themselves with loud proclamations or seek the praise of men. Instead, they will be driven by a deep, unshakable calling that comes from within, a calling that God has placed in their hearts. Their power will not be in their human abilities, but in the Spirit of God working through them. They will speak words that carry life, perform acts that bring change, and move with a divine authority that cannot be explained by logic or human reasoning. And when they appear, many will question, doubt, and even oppose them, because the world cannot comprehend the suddenness or the source of their power. Yet those who are spiritually awake will recognize them immediately. Those who are listening to God, those who are seeking his guidance, will see the signs of preparation, the footprints of God's hand at work, and will understand that a divine moment has arrived. It is crucial to understand that the suddenness of their arrival is also a test for the rest of us. God uses the unexpected to separate those who are ready from those who are unprepared. The chosen ones will not wait for the hesitant, the doubtful, or the fearful. Their mission is urgent because the times are urgent. The world is moving at a pace that demands immediate action, unwavering faith, and spiritual alertness. Those who are asleep in their spirit, who are distracted by the noise of the world, will miss the opportunity to align themselves with God's plan. But those who are watchful, who are cultivating intimacy with God through prayer, fasting, and obedience, will be ready to recognize the moment and respond with courage and faith. The preparation of the chosen ones has been meticulous. Every trial they have faced, every season of waiting, every moment of silence has been part of God's divine sculpting process. Just as a potter molds clay with careful hands, God has shaped them, strengthened them, and refined them so that they can withstand the suddenness of the task ahead. Their hearts are aligned with God's heart. Their minds are filled with His wisdom, and their spirits are fortified with His power. They are ready to move even when the world is unprepared, even when chaos surrounds them, and even when opposition rises. Their sudden arrival will not be a result of human planning or timing, but a fulfillment of God's perfect plan. This is a warning and an encouragement for all of us. We must not become complacent, thinking that we have time to prepare later. The chosen ones are coming, and they will come suddenly. There will be no warnings, no advance notices, no guarantees that we will be ready when they appear. It is a divine call to awaken our spirits, to sharpen our faith, and to position ourselves in alignment with God's will so that when the moment arrives, we will not be left behind, confused, or unready. We must pray for discernment, seek God's guidance, and remain vigilant, knowing that the sudden arrival of the chosen ones is both a miracle and a test of our readiness. God's timing is unlike anything we experience in the natural world. Human beings are bound by schedules, calendars, and the ticking of the clock, but God moves beyond time. His timing is perfect, precise, and often mysterious to those who live only by human understanding. What seems delayed, what seems slow or even invisible to our eyes is actually moving with divine accuracy. Every moment in your life, every event, every encounter, and every trial is orchestrated by God with a purpose far beyond what we can see or comprehend. And now, more than ever, His timing is accelerating. The seasons are changing, and the windows of opportunity are opening and closing faster than we realize. The arrival of the chosen ones is aligned with this divine timing. Their movement is not random. It is part of a plan that God has been unfolding for centuries, a plan that is beyond human calculation and beyond human expectation. When God moves, He does not seek permission from the world or confirmation from man. He does not announce His plans in ways that the natural eye can detect. His timing often appears silent, hidden, and unremarkable, yet it is unstoppable. The chosen ones are being positioned at precisely the right moment because God's timing is always perfect. Even when circumstances seem impossible, even when challenges arise that would stop ordinary people, God's plan continues to advance. Those who are spiritually awake understand this. They understand that waiting is not wasted time, that preparation is not passive, and that every season of silence, difficulty, or testing is part of God's precise arrangement. The chosen ones will move when God's timing dictates, not when human logic demands, and that is why many will be caught unaware. The world will be surprised, but those who are attuned to God's voice will recognize the divine orchestration. The acceleration of God's timing demands vigilance and faith. We must be spiritually alert because the divine clock is moving and the moment for action will come suddenly. Those who have become complacent, who rely solely on their own understanding or wait for perfect circumstances may miss the opportunity to witness or participate in the miraculous unfolding of God's plan. The chosen ones, however, are ready. They have been trained, refined, and positioned according to God's schedule. Their arrival is not determined by human planning, but by God's perfect timing, and it will occur exactly when it is supposed to, no sooner, no later. Those who recognize the signs, who are spiritually awake and attuned, will understand the significance of the moment and respond with faith, courage, and obedience. It is also important to recognize that God's timing is intentional. There is purpose behind every delay, every period of waiting, and every season of silence. These periods are not mistakes or accidents. They are opportunities for refinement, preparation, and growth. The chosen ones have endured seasons of waiting, periods of trial, and moments of isolation, all of which have been designed by God to strengthen their spirit, deepen their faith, and align them perfectly with His will. Every test they faced, every hardship they endured, and every lesson they learned has been part of God's meticulous timing. And now the moment has arrived for them to move, to fulfill their calling, and to demonstrate the power of God's perfect orchestration. Those who understand God's timing will see that no human action can force His plan or alter His schedule. The world may rush, push, and strive to create opportunities, but God's plan unfolds in its own perfect sequence. His timing is measured not in hours or days, but in divine wisdom, and it is precise beyond our comprehension. The arrival of the chosen ones is a testament to this divine precision. They will move in ways that cannot be predicted, in ways that the natural mind cannot calculate, and in ways that will demonstrate God's sovereignty over all things. Their sudden emergence will reveal that the God who orders the heavens and the earth also orchestrates the lives of those he calls, moving them exactly when and where they are needed most, where they are. This understanding of God's timing should inspire both urgency and trust. Urgency because the moments are fleeting and the opportunities are limited. Trust because God's plan is unchanging, faithful, and perfect. We must align ourselves with His timing, seeking His guidance in prayer, drawing near to Him in obedience, and positioning ourselves to respond immediately when He moves. The chosen ones will appear according to His schedule, and those who are prepared will recognize their arrival, participate in their mission, and witness the unfolding of God's miraculous plan. Only those who are spiritually prepared will recognize and step into their destiny when the chosen ones arrive. Spiritual preparation is not something that happens overnight. It is cultivated through consistent intimacy with God, through persistent prayer, fasting, study of His Word, and obedience to His guidance. Those who are unprepared will see the chosen ones and feel a mixture of confusion, envy, or disbelief. They may question how these individuals suddenly carry authority, wisdom, and power that seems beyond their years or experience. But the spiritually prepared understand immediately. They recognize the fingerprints of God, the anointing that cannot be taught in human institutions, and the calling that transcends human logic. Spiritual readiness is not measured by education, position, or worldly success. It is measured by alignment with God's heart, receptivity to His Spirit, and willingness to step into His purpose, regardless of fear or uncertainty. The chosen ones will move with clarity and confidence because their spirits have been trained to hear God's voice above the noise of the world. Many will not perceive what is happening because they are distracted, caught up in worldly matters, or spiritually asleep. But those who have cultivated discernment, who have sought God diligently, and who have nurtured a personal relationship with Him will see the signs clearly. They will recognize the anointing, the urgency, and the divine timing. They will understand that these individuals have been prepared for a purpose greater than themselves, and they will respond with faith rather than skepticism. Spiritual preparation creates the lens through which we can perceive the unseen, discern the invisible, and step into opportunities that others miss. Stepping into destiny also requires courage. Even those who are spiritually prepared may feel hesitation, fear, or uncertainty when faced with the sudden appearance of God's chosen agents in their lives. Yet the spiritually ready do not allow fear to paralyze them. They act in faith, trusting that God's plan is perfect and that His guidance is reliable. They understand that hesitation can cost them opportunities, blessings, and alignment with divine purpose. The chosen ones will test the faith of those around them, not in a condemning way, but to reveal who is ready to move with God and who is not. Those who step forward in faith will be empowered, encouraged, and equipped to participate in God's unfolding plan. Those who remain stagnant will be left behind, watching the miracles happen from a distance, wishing they had been ready when the moment arrived. Preparation also involves humility. The spiritually ready know that recognition, power, and influence do not belong to them. They belong to God. They do not seek to elevate themselves above others or to claim credit for what God accomplishes through the chosen ones. Instead, they align themselves with God's mission, serving faithfully, supporting diligently, and stepping forward when called without hesitation. Humility creates the spiritual space for God to work through us, for His purpose to be fulfilled, and for His timing to be realized. The chosen ones are empowered by this principle. They move not for personal gain, but because they are vessels of God's plan. And those who are prepared will recognize the same principle and align themselves accordingly. Spiritual preparation also demands perseverance. Life is filled with distractions, challenges, and setbacks, yet the spiritually prepared persist. They do not give up when doors appear closed, when circumstances seem impossible, or when others mock their faith. Instead, they continue in prayer, they continue seeking wisdom, and they continue cultivating a heart that is sensitive to God's Spirit. This perseverance sharpens discernment, strengthens resolve, and ensures that when the chosen ones arrive, they are not met with hesitation, confusion, or spiritual blindness. Instead, they are met with readiness, understanding, and the willingness to move immediately into action. The ultimate purpose of spiritual preparation is alignment with God's plan. When the chosen ones move, those who are spiritually prepared will not only recognize them, but they will also participate in God's mission. They will be instruments through which God's will is carried out, witnesses to His miraculous power, and partners in His divine work. They understand that destiny is not merely personal achievement, it is the fulfillment of God's purpose on earth, a contribution to His kingdom, and a response to His call. Spiritual readiness creates the opportunity to step into destiny without hesitation, to respond to God's timing without delay, and to recognize the arrival of the chosen ones with clarity, faith, and obedience. This is a call to awaken, rise, and embrace divine purpose now. Too many are walking through life in a spiritual slumber, distracted by the noise of the world, by fleeting pleasures, or by concerns that seem urgent but are temporary. Yet God is calling His people to awaken, to lift their eyes beyond the ordinary, and to see the extraordinary plan He is unfolding. The arrival of the chosen ones is not just an event, it is a wake-up call, a divine alarm sounding across the spiritual realm. Those who remain unaware, indifferent, or unprepared will miss the opportunity to participate in God's miraculous work. But those who awaken, who open their hearts to God's Spirit, and who rise in faith will position themselves to move with power, clarity, and purpose. Awakening begins in the heart. It begins with a recognition that God is moving, even when the world seems still. It begins with a willingness to seek Him earnestly, to listen to His voice above all else, and to respond to His guidance without hesitation. Those who awaken spiritually are like lights switched on in the darkness. They begin to see with spiritual eyes, discern with spiritual insight, and understand the mysteries of God that others cannot perceive. The chosen ones will move suddenly, but those who have awakened will recognize their arrival immediately. They will understand that these events are not random coincidences, but carefully orchestrated moments in God's divine plan. Awakening requires intentionality. It requires seeking God above comfort, above routine, and above fear. Rising is the next step. To rise spiritually is to step out of passivity, to leave behind hesitation, and to move boldly in alignment with God's will. Many remain stagnant because they are fearful, uncertain, or overwhelmed by the challenges of life. But God's call is not for the passive or timid, it is for the brave, for those willing to step forward even when the path is unclear. Rising means taking action in faith, moving when God directs, and trusting that His guidance is perfect. The chosen ones will not wait for the hesitant. They will move in the fullness of God's timing, and those who rise with them will be part of His unfolding plan. This rising is not merely external, it is spiritual, mental, and emotional. It is a complete alignment with God's purpose, a willingness to be used as His instrument, and a readiness to respond to His call immediately. Embracing divine purpose requires clarity. It is not enough to simply awaken and rise. One must understand the unique calling God has placed on their life. Each person has a role in God's plan, and the chosen ones are coming to move in ways that will require others to step into their own God-given destinies. Embracing divine purpose means discerning where God has positioned you, understanding your gifts, and applying them faithfully in alignment with His will. It is a call to recognize that your life is not accidental, that your experiences, your trials, and your opportunities have been designed by God to prepare you for this very moment. Those who embrace divine purpose will respond with courage, faith, and a heart willing to serve, knowing that God's plan is greater than their own understanding. The urgency of this call cannot be overstated. Time is moving swiftly, and God's plan is advancing rapidly. The chosen ones are coming suddenly, without warning, and those who are not spiritually awake, ready, and aligned with their divine purpose may find themselves unprepared. This is not a message to induce fear, but a message to ignite action. A divine invitation to awaken the spirit, rise from complacency, and embrace the destiny God has prepared. Every moment of delay can mean a missed opportunity. Every moment of hesitation can prevent alignment with God's miraculous plan. Those who heed this call will move in power, clarity, and obedience, ready to participate in God's unfolding work. Spiritual awakening, rising in faith, and embracing divine purpose also require perseverance and devotion. Life will continue to present distractions, challenges, and tests. Yet those who remain steadfast, who cultivate intimacy with God through prayer, worship, and obedience, will be ready when the moment arrives. They will not be shaken by fear, uncertainty, or opposition, for they are anchored in God's truth. Their readiness will allow them to recognize the chosen ones, to align with their mission, and to act in harmony with God's will. This is a time to wake up, to rise boldly, and to step fully into the divine purpose God has prepared. The call is urgent, the moment is near, and the opportunity to participate in God's miraculous plan is here. Those who respond with faith, courage, and obedience will see His power move in ways beyond imagination, and they will experience the fulfillment of God's promises in their lives and in the world around them. Beloved, today we have been given a glimpse of God's extraordinary plan, a plan that is moving faster than our human minds can grasp. The chosen ones are coming, and their arrival will be sudden, powerful, and divinely orchestrated. But this message is not only for them, it is for each of us. God is calling you to awaken, to rise, and to embrace your divine purpose without delay. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not hesitate in fear, and do not ignore the stirring in your spirit. The time to align with God's plan is now. Step forward in faith, seek His guidance, and allow His Spirit to move through you. Share this message with those around you, for it is time to prepare hearts, ignite faith, and position ourselves in readiness for what God is doing. If this message has touched your spirit, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so more souls can awaken to His purpose today.